Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, The World's End, and finally Baby Driver. Yes, these are all the films, the main theatrical releases of acclaimed director Edgar Wright from across the pond. Starting with Space, Edgar Wright proved himself to be a director in the vein of Kevin Smith, both embracing pop culture and throwing it back into the ethos. His work is unbelievable. Each film is technically, shot and everything better than the last. Transitions are great. His stories keep getting great. He's got the best actors, the best cast, and best of all, he's funny as hell. So join me today on LRM Ranks It while we discuss the filmography, the entire theatrical wide release filmography of director Edgar Wright. My fifth favorite Edgar Wright movie is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Yes, folks, you can hate me on this. That's fine. It's a great film. All of his films are great. We've discussed with Kevin Smith that they're all orgasms. Almost so with Tarantino. But Edgar Wright, he has only given a few, but he gives the very best geek orgasms. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, prior to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I would call the most comic booky movie of all time, but really it's more than that. It's very pop culture oriented with music references, video game cues. The cast is great. Michael Cera gets to lead. His ex is Brie Larson, Captain Marvel. One of her exes is Captain America himself, Chris Evans, and Brandon Routh, who used to play Superman. So what you have here is a man battling all of the girlfriend he's into, Ramona Flowers, exes, just as, any man who dates a woman, or vice versa, has to conquer the ghosts of her past, the baggage that comes with him or her. And it's a spectacularly edited movie. I'm sorry I had to put it so low, but that's the breaks. Number 4 is Baby Driver, the Kevin Spacey classic. No, let's forget he was involved because it makes the movie a little uncomfortable. Again, not one of his Coronado trilogy movies, so not with Simon Pegg or Nick Frost, but just a fantastic crime movie. The man always works in the action genre, yet always mixes it up within a genre with the action genre. We have a heist genre here with a talented young boy who is the best driver to escape with until he falls in love. Again, great cast. Jamie Foxx, Kevin Spacey prior to all of his shit, John Hamm, Ansel Elgort. It's fantastic. I love it. It's one of my favorites from that year. And I mean, again, it's just dripping in, being his most recent film, it's dripping in his style, his colors, his cuts. It's sublime. But we can get even more sublime, can't we? My third favorite Edgar Wright movie is you won't like this. Shaun of the Dead is actually my number 3 favorite Edgar Wright movie. This is one that stars Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, who he, in fact, his first main theatrical release. We're not talking about a fistful of fingers here, but he works with the two on. It's a perfect comedy trio. I have, these are going to be at the top, as you can tell. I love whenever he works with these two. The only reason Shaun of the Dead doesn't hit higher on the list is I'm not the biggest zombie film, but as you'll see with most of the films on this list, Edgar Wright doesn't only parody, but he pays homage and actually makes one of the best films in the genre while also, in a way, mocking it lovingly. My number 2 favorite movie is probably one you've overlooked. You've seen it, but it is The World's End, the movie about a pub crawl, unfulfilled, that must be done in a single night. That's 12 pubs, 12 pints, all the way to the end. Meanwhile, the end of the world is actually happening in this small town in the UK. And again, you have your Simon Pegg and your Nick Frost, and just a great number of other actors. Gary King, played by Simon Pegg, is a recovering drug addict who wants to relive the best night of his life. This was when they didn't complete the pub crawl back when he was in high school. And trying to live up to those ideals, you see his damaged psyche versus his friends who have all moved on and had a life, but still have issues within their life. And of course, there's aliens. One of the reasons I put this above Shaun of the Dead is it feels like a master course between his 3 Coronado films, and that he's learned everything he's learned from the other 2 have fed into this one. So it's kind of a combination of Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, yet the action is fine-tuned, the editing is getting better and better. Like I said, it's just a very stylistic, hilarious, fantastic entry from Edgar Wright. That brings us to our number 1, ladies and gentlemen, and our number 1 is Hot Fuzz. It doesn't get better than Hot Fuzz for Edgar Wright, not because his other films are bad, like I've said, but because this one parodies and crushes my favorite genre, the buddy cop genre. Again, like all of his movies, it's very self-referential, whatever, I can't pronounce it right now, with, the characters within the movie, Nick Frost's character especially, watching all these cop movies and hoping it's like that, and introducing Simon Pegg's character, Nicholas, to all these films. And what you have is a very slow boil film. Edgar Wright again brings all the style of that franchise to it. Quick cuts, even when it's not important. Music cues, all that good stuff. And really, there's not much action until the 3rd act, when the grand conspiracy is revealed, and it's just all out balls to the wall action at that point. Again, not only one of the greatest buddy cop parodies, but one of the best buddy cop movies, period. And with that, I've ranked all 5 Edgar Wright movies, his main releases. Don't forget to come back tomorrow for the podcast, where Kyle can tell me how much I'm wrong. Tell me how much I'm wrong yourself at @LRM_Nick on Twitter. And with that, we'll be ranking again next week, folks. Adios.
Hey everybody, did you like what you just watched? Do you want to see more? Check out the other great videos available here on the LRM Online YouTube channel. Also, go check out our website, lrmonline.com, to see all the great stories that we publish every day.